HLE Radio, it is the morning show. Good morning, and like I said, got some special guests in here. They were here last night. Tommy Brandt II. Man, it sounds like a movie to me. T2, man, listen, boy. Good morning, fellas.
Hey, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. How you doing?
Good to have y'all here.
Good to be back in Jennings, Louisiana.
Yeah, man. It's been 3 years actually since y'all been back.
Crazy. Time flies.
Yep.
Yeah.
And boy, y'all came back with a vengeance last night.
Yeah, we did.
Oh man,
We was tearing it up, literally.
And I wasn't helping y'all any either. I don't know. We got help here this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Getting the board set up.
Technological genius.
Man, listen. For those of you last night who were listening, it wasn't. It was more my fault than anything. And that's a lot for one person to do. And with everything else that was going on, it is what it is. But boy, I got reinforcements today this morning. So.
You know what's cool though is I found because you've got that saying what
most professionals being unprofessional.
Yeah. And what I found
day in and day out
is imperfection. A lot of times draws people in more so than perfection.
Yeah.
And it's odd. It should seem the other way around.
Right.
But I think through our imperfection, we allow God's light to shine a little more. Because man, I'm
right.
the same way. I get through a concert or a ministry date, or especially when I preach.
Yeah. I
get done and I think, what in the world did I just say? What came out of my mouth? And everybody goes, oh, that was astounding. And I'm going, what?
Man, I tell you what, I don't know. Boy, I like the way my mic sounds now. Sounds better than it ever did. He's over there doing stuff.
It's a new day.
Yeah, man, I'm liking this. This is good stuff, man. Sounded good.
I think we brought the cloud with us last night, because man, the time we left yesterday morning.
You know, we're gonna talk about that cloud, man, because we haven't caught up in 3 years or so. Before that, you were here a couple of times. So much so you spent about 3 or 4 days, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Y'all came over in the house.
It was a Pilates.
Yeah, Michelle cooked. And Logan we were all impressed. Logan was so impressed that she got one of those things that
Clay baker.
Yeah, and man, she's been using that ever since. Man. We do a lot of stuff with that. So that was a kudos to Michelle for that. It was really, it's quick. But anyway, this morning I was talking to the Lord as I always do. That's my time. From the time I get up, from the shower to here, that's my alone time. Well, I'm talking to him every day, but that's my personal time. And the Lord said, I want you to ask Tommy when you want to, talk, because we can always talk, and we'll talk, about what's going on, or do you want to talk real? Do some real talk, Because what I found. And I'm going back to the first time that I met you, which was actually at Agape Fest in Granbury, Texas. Mm-hmm. And the picture's on the wall somewhere up there with the very first time I met you. Oh, it's right there behind you. See it. And I remember the first thing thinking, God, really because up to that point, I just been listening to your music. But it was about a year later you come through, man. It was very profound for me because I'm just getting into this, and what I remember is the main thing I remember is your character. And I want to say that the main thing I remember is your character, because at that time I started experiencing something, and stuff that you had been experiencing for the time you've been in, and you were going through some stuff at the time too. But the way you were handling it, I thought was really good, because I already knew that offense was coming, and I had learned. And I'd also learn that how you choose to handle them depends on the outcome of what God's going to be able to do. So, from that point in time, I'm getting a big setup here, so we're gonna get deep here in a minute. So from that point in time, as we're going, I remember before the wall was taken out here, and the other side was the suite. You called me one afternoon, and we had talked, and you had asked me about going somewhere for a certain thing. I said no, and you said no, me either, and you told me what your plans were, and I said, well, I'm going to do the same thing. That's what I've already started to do. And from that point on, I'm being with Junior right now. We kind of just did what we said we would do. Now, from the whole time of doing that, we didn't really talk a whole bunch, but we just kind of would run into each other every once in a while, maybe a year later too, just happen chance. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I was able to see, what you were doing, and here we are 3 years later, still bearing fruit from what we've been doing. Now, you've been in this longer than I have. I've only been doing it for 8 years in the Christian Country Club thing. You've been on the road, what is it now?
Almost 20 years.
Almost 20 years. And I've seen the young man next to you who's still young, but not as young as he was when I first.
Yeah, he'll be 19
right.
here in a week or so.
Yeah, so that means he was not 11, 12. He was 12 when I met him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was when I just started playing guitar.
Right, I remember that. And so without going into a whole bunch of stuff, and we'll get into it, because Cowboy Outreach America, that vision has reached so many people. And again, I go back to I'm a watcher. I always have been. I watch. And two things happen when you learn and you see. And I said this earlier, I said this last night to Michelle. I said, people can always say what they know, but you're still known by the fruits that you bear. And the Bible bears that out as well. It says that in the Bible. So, and I just said before we went on the air, and you said this would make a good sermon. I said, the reason people are yapping is when they see the fruit on your tree, their tree doesn't have no fruit, so they want some of that fruit on their tree.
Right.
Basically, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm saying all that to say this, and as we go on further into the breaks, we'll probably talk some about this. The persecution and the stuff that we both had to deal with, and you longer than I have, in this type of stuff, has been ridiculous. It's been crazy. But yet, at the end of the day...
Don't you know the disciples said that to Jesus?
Right. But again, at the end of the day, like I said, and I started this 2 years ago, the goal is souls.
Right, yeah.
The goal is souls. And which is what you've been out doing. You've been, finding ways to reach the lost.
Sure.
Which is what we're called to do anyway.
Absolutely.
So I said all of that because I'm going to let you talk after this, and Tommy Keith too as well. But I want to just set this up, man, because I figure we're going to talk real today. And and I want to encourage some listeners out there too who are listening, because if we come through all of this and do through all of this and all the stuff that we're doing, somebody who might be having a ministry or having a hard time with some of this stuff, I want them to get encouragement today, knowing that if they hold the course and they continue to hold the course, that God is faithful to reward.
Right.
In doing so. And I said it yesterday, and I never really looked at that verse, Matthew 22:14, as I did yesterday, in the context of ministry. The parables are told all the time in different situations, but I never looked at that particular one as in ministry, because few men are called, but few are chosen. I always saying about your calling, man, we're called to do this.
Right.
No, I was chosen to do this.
Yeah.
You were chosen to do what you're doing because you answered the call. And how many people are called but always have an excuse?
Exactly. Yeah.
It was just like when the king was throwing the banquet, where they're talking about in that story, the people that were supposed to be there, his so-called crew, the so-called crowd he runs with, or the so-called people, they always had an excuse. They had an excuse, so he's like, man, screw this. Go find somebody, put them in the seat. Get somebody in here at this table, because I don't want nobody at this table. I want people here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who they are. Just go get them. Put them in there. So God will use anybody.
Yeah.
If they're willing.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what you look like.
Raise up a rock.
Right?
Donkey.
Exactly right. And I'm probably the closest example to a donkey there is, I'm sure. Because my mouth has made a out of me many times. And you can put in the word there, man. So now, I took up the whole break for this one. And when I come back, I'm going to shut up. Because I want to set this all up for y'all. Because what I want to find out now is all the good that Cowboy Outreach has done. Because it started, I know, because you got the tractor trailer now.
Right. Yeah.
Folds out into a stage. You got a couple of rigs now, actually, when you go out full blown now, full band.
Right. Yeah.
Dude, that this day and time, and this kind of stuff that we're doing, that's unheard of.
Yeah. Much needed though.
It's much needed, and no doubt about it. But who is able to do that? Who is able to do that in what we do? I mean, in on our level of things, and when I say our level of things, I mean, you know, without major label push, major label recognition, who is able to do that?
Yeah.
Seriously. So it's God. Sure. I mean, but it's the obedience of you willing to do it and step out in faith and do it. If it was that easy, everyone would do it.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, it is that easy. It's just
right.
Not that easy to commit, but it is.
Well,
right,
right. Which goes back to many are called, but few are chosen.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So, man, listen, I'm saying this I'm just trying to edify you and T2, man, because in my opinion, for whatever it's worth, y'all have walked the talk, and y'all have done it with honor, and y'all are some great godly men. I've seen it. I know it firsthand. Regardless of what anybody would say or do, I've seen it firsthand. I know it for a fact. So I just want to say that, man. I want everybody listening out there to understand that. If you go see these folks, if you ever meet them in person, you'll understand what I am saying. And I really mean that, man. And
oh, shucks.
You know, shucks. But what y'all do is not only needed, but it's a great ministry. And you know, when we come back from the break, man, I want to know, and I want to know some of the things that y'all seen out on the field, some of the great things that have been happening with Cowboy Outreach America. Because it's not just, I know for a fact, it's not just setting up, opening up the doors to the rig and playing and jamming. Yeah. There's more to it than just that. And that's what I want to get to that. I mean, I want to get to the details of what it, if you don't mind.
Sure, yeah.
And I want to get T2's perspective too. I want to know, I want my listeners to know what it is to get up in the morning and do this. You know, and I can very well bet you a lot of folks think, well, you know, it's just cool. You get up and then you just go play music, man.
Full-time vacation.
Yeah, right. Just like the radio, you just get up and go talk, you know. They never see the glamour of this behind the scenes.
Right.
Just like they're not seeing the glamour of what you do with the cutting up the tarp on the side of the road, no air conditioner working, and being up till 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't know about y'all, but as round as I am, and y'all not as round as I am, but a round boy like me in Louisiana humidity and no air conditioning can't sleep, that's miserable, dude. That is seriously miserable. Anyway, when we come back, man, we're going to talk about all of that, if that's cool with you.
Yeah, good deal.
It's the morning show with my guest, Tommy Brandt II, coming right back at you. And I'm only going to do 2 songs. I didn't mean to talk that long.
That's all right.